your dirty work. Oh yeah. I don't wanna do your dirty work no more.
Hey everybody, it's Louis. Welcome back to the Louis Le Vau or Louis Le Vau. I'm already fucking this up. Morning show. Welcome back to the Morning Zoo, where we're going to talk about G-Jackets and Harleys and the B-side to the Boston album from 40 years ago, or probably more. Welcome back to Boomer Radio, Boomer Rock Radio. 96.9 Boomer Rock Radio.
Boomer Rock Radio.
Welcome back. There was actually a time in my life where I was interested in getting into radio. If you can believe it, it's true. Before I realized, like, hey, this is a dying medium and there's no money in it, and the internet is going to kill this, and it did. First, you had independent broadcasters, which, I mean, that was probably 2008. Even before then, you had internet broadcasters and that were taking on terrestrial radio. You had the big hosts and the big corporate channels, that being Howard Stern and what became Sirius XM, which was XM and then also Sirius, but then they merged because running those companies was extremely expensive. In any case, what we're here to talk about is radio. And my local radio station, 97 Rock, which has been around for a long time. My father used to listen to it religiously. I believe he still does. And we're talking about this stupid show, the Morning Bull Show for 97 Rock. And I'm pretty sure my father listens to that show. I would imagine he does. I don't know for sure, but I know he doesn't listen to satellite radio. I know he listens to terrestrial radio. And I know he listens to 97 Rock because he has for as long as I've been alive, and that's a long fucking time. So I have to imagine that he is aware of this situation, and I actually found this on my own. I noticed he never said anything to me about this because it would seem relevant, because this is kind of in my wheelhouse, so to say. But I noticed he never said anything. I found this on my own. So the other day, some boomer on the Morning Boomer radio show, Boomer Rock Radio, said some stupid boomer joke of like, oh, black women, they look like burnt toast. And I take offense to that, not because like, oh my God, you said something about a black person that wasn't praise, that is what racism is. Racism in 2021 is you say something about blacks and it's not a compliment. That is racism. And so Rob Letterman, who's been with 97 Rock for an incredibly long time, got shit-canned in a nanosecond. And so did the whole fucking show. The whole morning show got fucking canceled. Everyone got fucking fired. I'm going to have to cut that joke out. That joke might be a little bit too far for YouTube. But let's just say that Cumulus Radio, the people from there, Ben Shapiro's people at Cumulus Radio, the Cumulus Network, they came in and just killed everyone. They just liquidated the whole studio like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger in Terminator 1, in the police station. Just came in and fucking everyone got neutralized. The whole reason I'm doing this, by the way, is because I went out for coffee this morning and it was a pain in the ass. It took me like 45 minutes to find a Tim Hortons that wasn't overloaded to get this coffee, which I'm currently drinking. And, while I was listening to 97 Rock, because I was suspicious that this would happen, and it did, you play some songs, you cut to commercials. That's terrestrial radio. During the commercial break, all of a sudden it cuts to a monologue by somebody, I don't know who it is, but a monologue probably from Cumulus Corporate, which oversees 97 Rock. And it is this fucking pathetic, writhing apology. Like, it is so beyond the pale. Like, I'll try to see if I could find it. I don't really know if I want to play it because it's like a minute and 30 seconds long of just some fucking corpo wastrel apologizing and doing so, in corpo speak. It's pretty much how it's being spoken. But it is so hilarious because the apology is so overly fucking defensive while just basically like just writhing on the ground in just weakness. It's so pathetic. But it's like, listen, guys, you have an idea how much charity we've done? You know, we love this area. We love Western New York. We love you, all of you, equally, I swear. We love you so much, and all we do is philanthropy, okay? We raise money for kids with cancer. We do so much good. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. It is that pathetic. Like, I am not exaggerating. I am not exaggerating one iota to the degree that apology felt like a fucking hostage tape. It was so weak, so pathetic. And that is basically the strategy. That is like the standard corpo strategy of the left wing is angry. And by the way, the thing is, like, it's boomer rock radio. Overwhelmingly in this area, which is white, it's going to be white boomers listening to this stupid morning show. You're telling me that some white, like, working class boomer got really fucking offended by some stupid faggot on this stupid morning show comparing a black woman to burnt toast? The average white boomer response to that stupid joke was going to be her. You know, you got to understand that, like, I wouldn't be surprised if that boomer joke was followed up with talking about, like, you know, like I already said, jean jackets, Harleys, you know, wide collar button down shirts and bowling shirts. They're coming back. They're making a comeback. Pastel sport jackets. They're making a comeback, people. There's nothing about this that is authentic and sincere about the apology and the offense. None of it. None of this is sincere. None of this is real. And if there are black boomers listening to boomer rock radio in my area, they're not offended either because they're boomers. There's no way a working class black man in this area listened to what this person said and was so fucking offended that they're on the fucking corporate line for Cumulus Media. Cancel this show. Kill everyone involved. Send in Arnold. You know, it's not happening. What this is the outgrowth of my experience in college, of all the PC, affluent, white leftists that are all over the place that are running the show, that have now graduated and are now in society. Some boomer makes an off-color remark for a joke that's not even funny. If you're going to make a race joke, at least make it funny. But in this case, it's just a standard stock, crummy boomer joke. No pun intended with it, you know, relating to toast. But it's not even funny in terms of offense. Like, the most offensive thing about it is that the joke itself isn't even funny. But the response from 97 Rock and Cumulus Media is to literally fire fucking everyone. Everyone involved was fucking fired. And an unbelievably overly defensive, groveling fucking apology that, like I said, it's about the worst. It's about the worst apology that I've ever heard because it is so fucking defensive. It has to be one of the most offensive fucking apologies I've ever heard. Like, literally, minutes on end, saying how much charity work they do, how they love the area, they love the people. We love you! We love you! Don't you understand? It literally is so unbelievable. You couldn't parody it. You couldn't. Here I am trying to exaggerate and mock it, but it's like, it's not even that much of an exaggeration. It's not even that much of a joke. Because that is what it was. You know, this disgusting, writhing apology that is somebody, like, on their knees, literally begging, while at the same time defending themselves to the best of their ability. Like, listen, you know how much charity work we've done? Like, all this shit. And what's funny is that one of the people that was initially responsible for this was Roswell Park, which in my area is a cancer, like, clinic or hospital, whatever, research center, whatever the fuck. They were one of the first that canceled their advertisement, and there was a bunch that actually did based on this one joke. Apparently, the Buffalo Sabres fired him. Who is it? They fired somebody. I don't even know. It wasn't even the guy that made the joke. It was somebody else. I don't even know who the fuck they fired, but it was literally someone possibly in the room. Somebody in the room. It's like insane. Like, they literally fired everyone. How many people is it? Like 5? I don't even know what the number is at this point of how many people they fucking fired. But it's at least 3 people that they fired. And this one guy, Grenzler, who I don't even know, he's apparently the bull for the Morning Bull. I don't listen to this shit. But he got fired from the Buffalo Sabres. And he's pretty much done. But the thing is, he didn't even make the joke. This guy didn't even make the fucking joke. And he also got fired by UB, which, honestly, that is a blessing in disguise. You don't want to work for UB, bro. University of Buffalo is a PC shithole, okay? So, honestly, I know that you don't want to be losing your job, you know, doing their PA announcement shit for their football games, but at the same time, you really don't want to work for UB. It's... You would basically just have to be walking around with an encyclopedia-sized book of just left-wing talking points to just use as a script. That would be your life from then on for working at UB. You'd be walking around and you'd have to say something at some point to somebody, and you have to crack open that fucking phone book-sized script and just read from it. Find something, anything you think could be banal and innocent enough to get away with just your existence at this fucking campus. Okay? Getting fired from them is a blessing in disguise. But the problem is that with radio, especially with terrestrial radio, it's so small now because it is simply a dying platform. It's a dying medium. It's boomers and a handful of other people, like super young people that can't afford satellite radio, and, you know, boomers. Like, that's who still listens to terrestrial radio. And me, because I'm broke. But the fact is that if I had any money, I'd be going back to Sirius XM, even though it's really overpriced. I'd still go back because in terms of the quality, it's just, you know, entire tiers. Many notches better than terrestrial radio could ever be. Terrestrial radio, in my view, is shit. And it has always been shit and will always be shit. It's one of the reasons why it's dying, because it just never tried in any way to compete with satellite radio, even though satellite radio itself, in modern times, is very archaic. Like, it barely exists. I don't know of any that even exist still, any companies outside of Sirius XM, which merged. It's monolithic, but it's not really exactly that profitable as a company. You know, it's kind of like GameStop in terms of a media company. It's the number one. There's really no other competition, but at the same time, it's kind of just hanging on by a thread. You know, hanging on by the fact that they've paid enough dealers to put it into new cars so that, you know, they could poke and prod at you to continue your subscription once it runs out after whatever 3 months at grossly inflated prices that they'll basically put a gun to your head before they let you leave. And if you want to negotiate it down, like, it's like getting into an argument with a fucking judge or a lawyer or something. Like, I don't know who they hire to haggle with people, but goddamn, dude, it's crazy. It's like speaking to a used car dealer. You know, maybe they're trading secrets or something. It's insane, and I'm not exaggerating that either. I've gone through the process twice with Sirius, and they are crazy. The people that they have working with them are insanely serious about you quitting or haggling with you about the price of your subscription. It's insane. I've never experienced anything like it with any other company in my life. But the point is that I want to make with this, that if you are part of, like, the establishment, you know, the established order, the existing paradigm, what, you know, the collapsing, decrepit paradigm that exists, and this is included in it with Cumulus Media, you are not free to say shit. You have corpos behind you looking over everything that you say, and I guarantee you it wasn't some local black person that forced this issue. It was NGOs. I guarantee you, NGOs that forced this. That has been what has happened every single time something similar to this has happened in the past. It has been NGOs that have forced this issue. And Cumulus Media did not hesitate to fire everyone involved, including several people that didn't even say shit. They weren't the person who made the joke. They didn't say anything. They all got fired. And in response, they've given out the most groveling, overly defensive fucking apology that I've ever heard. Literally, it's the most insane thing. You have to hear it to believe it, really. And I harken back to, I'll have to look up this article, but Cumulus Media 2020 election. I've had people say to me that they listen to a few of these different boomer talk shows that Cumulus Media oversees, and that the people that work for those people haven't stopped talking about the election being fortified. I found that very hard to believe, because when it came to the Daily Wire, the people that I listened to did, in fact, just flip on a dime right after this was said, and they went from talking about it and insisting Trump was right to Trump gets banned, Cumulus Media cracks down, and no one's talking about it anymore. Now we're talking about the open borders and Biden falling downstairs and all this bullshit. But no one's got anything to say about the fortified election anymore. That was my takeaway from this. And I have to say that I can only speak to what I know. I can't speak to anybody else who might work for Cumulus, who you might listen to, and maybe every day they're talking about it. But I tend to find that to be likely untrue when some boomer on a morning talk show, a PC like morning zoo show, like there's no way this show is not PC when it's on terrestrial radio. There's just no way. Okay? They can barely, the most edgy they get is talking about random dumb shit about sex. Like, oh, she performed fellatio. Whoa, edgy. It's like, okay, guys, really, really, man, that's, whoa. Lay off the sauce, guys. Whoa, man. Whoa, a little bit too spicy. Ah, man, it's burning my tongue. That's the kind of shit that these people get up to, is stupid shit like that. It's like, oh, man, a woman's got big titties, and she performs a sex act. Ooh. And it's like, okay, guys, that might have been edgy in 1981, but, it's similar to in the way that occasionally I have to say to my parents that they're stuck in another century, and I find that to be the case so often, is that, if it isn't 1979, it's at best like 1998. Like, that's as far as they go. Right around then they cut off, and they just got no sort of idea about what the fuck's going on in the world. No clue what's going on in the country. They're listening to the mainstream media, and they're just buying it, hook, line, and sinker, and they're not questioning a fucking iota of it. And that's what they think is fucking going on. But I just wonder. I'm going to ask my father about this, and just say, hey, have you heard about this? And what do you think? Hit me up. Give me some insight. What do you think? And it's going to be so funny because the irony of all of this, isn't really to do with Cumulus Media, although it is that, like the corpo aspect of that. It's not really this idiot Rob Letterman saying, oh, black woman skin and toast. Like, it's not really, and especially one of the people he made fun of was Halle Berry. And it's like, you're making fun of Halle Berry, like, she was, like, the major, like, I don't want to say, like, she was, like, I'll call her a heartthrob, like, a starlet, whatever. I was going to call her, like, the ultimate thought. An example of that would be The Last Boy Scout, where she's a stripper in that, film. But, like, she, back in the day, was it. Like, she was incredibly attractive. She was in a shitload of movies. I'll stop there. You can imagine what I'm going to say next in terms of what boys were thinking about her at that time. But the point is that, like, the joke, like I say, it doesn't even work. Like, I don't even think it's funny. But the thing is that when you're on terrestrial radio for like 3 hours a fucking day, you're on some corny fucking morning zoo show, and you're struggling to find something to come up with every fucking day to say, eventually you're going to have a foot and mouth moment. You're going to have a joke that doesn't land. You're going to have an off-color comment. You're going to say something that people are going to find offensive or whatever. And once upon a time, people might call in and say, well, that was offensive, and then they would make fun of the audience or defend themselves or apologize, and people would get over it the next day. But that is another time and place. Like, that is just another country. It's gone. That era is dead. We live in modernity. We live in modern times. And in modern times, in 2021, you make some off-color comment, your fucking career is dead. Everyone in the studio is fucking fired. And advertisers are pulling out. People who you raised money with for cancer kids and all this shit, they're stabbing you in the back within a second of you saying it. It's why my position is fuck charities. Because, half these charities are scams, and the other half have no loyalty for you whatsoever, and as long as there's some sort of leftist narrative to play, they're going to stab you in the fucking back. Fuck the cancer kids. We got to appeal to progressive politics. That's not making us any money or saving any lives, but fuck you, fuck your speech, fuck freedom, fuck these cancer kids. We got to appeal to the fucking screaming retards on Twitter. That's reality. That is where we are. That is the world in which we live now. And, all I can say is that when you have jihadists coming at you, okay, let's use this as an equitable comparison, honestly. You have to realize that if they're attacking you with violence and they're coming at you with everything that they have, you cannot meet them with weakness. You can't get down on all fours and put your ass up to them and say, well, please fuck me for forgiveness, anything like that. If you meet them with weakness, they realize that they can now fuck with you forever, that they can now terrorize you forever. That is what they learn when you prostrate yourself to them. When they come at you and you fall on your knees, your hands and knees, and you beg for forgiveness and you beg mercy, they're just going to step on you. They're just going to keep coming after you. They're going to let you stand up and knock you down again at their own amusement, on a whim. Whenever they find it that it's necessary to do or they are bored, they'll knock you down. Because the first time that something happened, you crumbled instantly and you begged for mercy. These people, they're not looking for they're not here to forgive you. They're not looking for an apology. They're here to dominate you and crush you. It's the same thing with jihadists. They're not looking for an apology. They're here to dominate you. That's what they're here to do. They want you to submit because they want to fuck with you forever. They're not good people. They're evil. Unfortunately, there's just a lot of weak people. It's easier to be weak than it is to stand in the face of everyone around you calling you a racist and ignorant and all this other stupid shit. But, you have your choices to make. And I'm not going to make them for you. If you want to be a weak fucking pussy beta male, then make that choice and live with it. Live with the consequences of now being unemployable for the rest of your life because you crumbled. You crumbled, and there's no way anyone involved actually stood up. I don't think, like Letterman issued a statement Thursday apologizing for the comments that cost him his job. He said, I 100% understand why people are justifiably angry. What people are justifiably angry? NGOs and fucking activists? Who? Please know my comments were ignorant, but not meant to be hurtful, but I know I, as well as many others, need to learn from this. Well, you obviously aren't going to learn, you fucking retard. But this is the issue of boomers and people who are young enough to be woke enough to understand what's going on. Simple as. It seems like boomers just don't have the wiring. They don't have the wiring in their own minds to understand the nature of what's going on. They just simply don't. They either already understand the red-pilled boomers that exist or people that will never understand. They're just incapable of understanding. Literal NPCs who are incapable of getting new fucking programming to understand what this world is. They're just living in another world where you say, hey guys, I'm sorry. People go, oh, it's okay, I forgive you. That's what they think is going to happen. And people have been thinking that for over a decade now. It's been over a decade that this has been playing out exactly as it has been. No one's learned. None of these people have learned. None of them are actually capable of understanding that when you apologize, they just crush you. They just put their boot heel right on your fucking face and rub shit on your face. That happens. It happens a million fucking times. None of these people ever learn. They expect the other side to say, hold on, let me shake your hand. All is forgiven. They think it's going to happen every time, and it never does.
Insanity is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again, expecting shit to change. That is crazy.
The fact is that I'm not here to give you a hand up. I'm not here to help you. I'm not here to do anything for you because I don't want the shit that is now scrubbed on your face on my hands or on me, on my person. It's on you because you're fucking weak and pathetic And you are ignorant, but ignorant of the fact that you live in a new time and place. You live in a new country. You live in an era that is not 1998. This isn't your country anymore. This isn't that time period anymore where you were top shit. We live in a new world. We live in a new paradigm. Wake the fuck up, dumb fuck. But wasted anger, wasted breath. In all honesty, you either get it or you don't. You're the dumbass on your hands and knees getting shit smeared on your fucking face. And I'm not here to help you. I'm not here to save you. Because you're too pathetic. Stand up on your own 2 fucking feet and learn. Look around. Pay attention. Look what the fuck's been going on for over 10 years. Then maybe it'll fucking connect and you'll fucking learn. Don't apologize. Don't ask for forgiveness. Don't grovel. Don't say, listen how much charity we've done. If you get fired, so be it. Say they fired you over nothing. You said, I said a joke and honestly it didn't land. That's all there was to it. The only people who were offended weren't our listeners, wasn't anybody. It was NGOs, activists, and corpo-cynical actors that are only interested in money. That's all it is. That's all it's ever going to be. And I'm not sorry. Because the fact is, you are now radioactive. You're now unemployable for the rest of your fucking life. Realize you have nothing left to lose. It really is just boomeritis. Boomeritis. Literally allow these cynical, evil people to rub shit on your face and then eat it and think that somehow you're going to recover. I swear to God, man, it really is just pathetic, and it's so aggravating to see somebody like, just do this, just to do this. Like, it is so fucking pathetic. And the fact that no one has learned, it's just really aggravating. If you are going to be a fucking pariah, and this is pretty much just the point, if you are going to be a pariah, just ostracized from polite society, stand on your own 2 fucking feet, dude. Be a man. Be a man, not a groveling worm. Have some self-respect. Have some integrity. Have some honor. Stand on your fucking feet. Be a fucking man. From a millennial to a boomer. The irony. But the fact of the matter is just the reality of what is the current situation and what your response should be to it. That you groveling will not solve anything. It does not take the stink off you. It does not make you less radioactive. There isn't going to be another job just waiting in the wings for you now that you're insanely radioactive from this. You're done. In corporate media, you're done. Hope you built up your own base, bro. Hope you build up your own following, bro. Because you're fucking done. What can I say other than, what will happen sooner? Will the boomer generation die off? Or will a serious number of them actually contend to the situation that exists? Will they actually wake up? You know, break that NPC blue pill programming and just wake up to what world they're living in, what country they're living in. What'll happen sooner? I know where my money is, and I'm not too optimistic on it. I know where I'm putting my money. I am going to talk to my father about this, because he religiously listens to Boomer Rock Radio here. 96.9, 97 Rock! You know? I could have worked for this company. I could have worked for 97 Rock at one point. I just really question as to whether he understands the situation as it is. And basically, maybe I haven't spelled this out, but while this is going on, across the country, black people are just targeting Asians. It is the wildest fucking thing. People are talking about what's going on in Florida and shit with black people. Who cares about that? Okay, who cares about spring break or any of this shit? I'm talking about all these old-ass fucking Asians that are all over the country, and black people, Hispanics, Middle Easterners, like, just any group, any fucking demographic that is not white, is just running around beating the fucking shit out of old Asians. You go on Google, it is just endless fucking stories, like thousands of stories in the United States of Asians being attacked randomly by non-white people. disproportionately black people. Well, we have to worry about the feelings of these people. Got to be worried about the feelings of those people. Well, basically the minority, coalition of the left is collapsing because the blacks and the others are going crazy and beating the fuck out of everybody because we live in a lawless society. While that's going on, you have corporate media flipping their lid, flipping the fuck out, just firing entire studios of people because somebody made an off-color boomer joke. The nature of our society, it really is a comedy, but it is also a tragedy. It is both. It is possible to be both, and that is the United States of America. God bless America! It's a joke. It really is a joke. This country is so bad right now. It is horrific what is going on. Every fucking day, it just gets so much worse. When will the bottom fall out? Like, when will the other shoe drop? I do think that there is going to be another summer of 2020 coming. Maybe not this summer, who knows? It might happen again, but I really do think that there's going to be an even worse summer 2020. And this time around, the police are going to be even more powerless to do anything. So it is going to be a lot more of like random suburbanites and affluent white people being attacked by blacks and all this shit. The question really is, how much worse does it need to be before people actually wake up? Or is there just no threshold? Is there simply no line that could ever be crossed where people will wake up and they are just done, they are fully submitted? And with that, then it's like, okay, fuck it. Like, that's when it comes to us, take off the gloves, and then when they bitch and whine, it's like, no, you shut the fuck up. You didn't say shit about these people. You're not saying shit about us, so shut your fucking mouths in general. You're going to submit to them? Well, you can submit to us too. Shut your fucking mouths. Pure and simple. Because like I said, I think that we got another summer of love coming. I don't know when. I don't know if it's going to be this summer, but there's another summer of 2020 coming, and I think it's going to be worse. The only question is when is that going to kick off? Who knows? What is it going to be that kicks it off? It's going to be a black person getting killed. Obviously, that does it. But when? It's just a matter of time. And when it does, I'm telling you, it's going to be worse because the police are going to be even less willing to stand up and do anything. They're going to be even more passive than they were then. And all that does is incentivize black people to go even further with their violence and evil, their malice. That is what happened in 2020, was everyone stepped back and black people are like, well, we can do whatever the fuck we want. And they went fucking insane. When you think there are no ramifications to your actions, it only incentivizes you to be even worse, to be even more chaotic and sadistic and crazy. It only incentivizes that for you to even further your behavior in that way. And is there any line? Is there any threshold where people are going to finally wake the fuck up that honestly, in this country, black people deserve criticism. They don't deserve to be held up as saints. They don't deserve, fentanyl ODers don't deserve murals and all this shit. That black people in America have a problem. And all these other non-whites that are attacking Asians currently have a problem. And that maybe they need to sort that out. And we need to criticize them. And stop demonizing whites because they don't deserve it. And these people do deserve criticism. Is there a threshold? I don't know, but I guess we'll see. Thanks for listening.